Hey everyone, this is Player Error 404 here, and today I am doing a speed paint. Never done one of these before, so should be fun. Yeah, so this is the protagonist of my first Mask trailer. Her name is Avow, and I think she's a pretty cool character, or at least the idea of her was. I don't know if I did her justice in her execution, but whatever. So here I am right now just doing the rough on her, and in all honesty, this is more planning than her actual model got. Because, see, I kind of just made her up as I went. Yeah, sorry about that. Apologies for my heavy breathing and the crappy audio editing. This is my second time recording, and I'm not good at this. Anyway. So, for those of you who don't know, May is a girl who studied at Shade. She's a huntress. She's somewhere in her early 20s. I haven't decided where. She's graduated, is my point. And she has a very, very weak aura, leading to her being very heavily scarred, because, well, she's a fighter and she gets hurt a lot. The biggest one is the one I'm working on right now, her fucked up arm. Which just got torn off about a month after leaving school. You'll also notice how she's missing an eye. That happened before she graduated, when her team fell apart. And yeah, she's designed to be dressed fairly practically. You could argue a body warmer isn't a great thing to be wearing in the desert, but it gets cold at night, I guess. Again, this is why I should have put a little more thought into her as I was designing her, but I still kind of like how she came out. So, yeah. Sorry, thinking of stuff to talk. Oh, it's hard. Right, so yeah, her lack of design did basically mean I was making her up on the fly. Like, I pretty much decided she would be a cyborg as I was making her, and realised the one-arm model I had was kind of crap. And then I started looking around for ways to justify it, because, shockingly, you don't get many cyborgs in fairy tales. Which, is a shame as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I had to find something that would fit, and that's how she ended up being based around the ugly duckling. Because, well, ugly, and that was where the idea for her semblance came from, which is called Swan Song, which I'll try to get an image of on the screen about here, assuming me in editing can be asked, which he better be. So, yeah, the original idea for Swansong was to give it big wings, but I can't make and rig bird wings. I'm sorry, I've tried multiple times. I'm probably going to try again, and maybe I'll actually pull it off. But at the time I was making this, my Blender skills weren't good enough, and I was trying to finish my third year of university at the same time, and I did my wrist in. Look, long story short, buy an ergonomic mouse if you have to do a lot of PC work. Trust me, you do not want to have... Let me repeat that. You do not want to know what happens if you don't. Yeah. So here I am just doing the line art and trying to fill in more of May's details. A lot of her scars look weird with the solid black line art, which is why I'm going to colour it later. It's a thing where the more lines you put on your character, the older they look, or at least the more you put on their skin. And I didn't want her to look old, because she's not, but I got over that by colouring it in, basically. Yeah. One other thing you'll notice on her model is it's a lot more textured than this drawing ends up being, because I kind of forgot. Oh, yeah, I know, professional, sorry. This is my first attempt, and yeah, I screwed up once or twice. Yeah. Sorry about this, I'm trying to be careful not to screw up the audio too much, but knowing me, I will. My friend trying to message me doesn't help. Oh, anyway. So here I am doing... It's meant to be some kind of chainmail she has on under her trousers, because she has to wear a bit more armour and thickly padded clothing, because her aura is very weak. So I kind of based her to be semi-practical. Oh, and she's actually more heavily armoured in the model. She's got a big pauldron on one arm. But I sort of forgot, and I'm not entirely sure if I like it anyway on the original model. Let me know what you think. So yeah, here I am doing her sword, which I do like. It's called Skybreaker, and it's a fusion cutter ultra greatsword hybrid, or basically meaning it's too big for anyone to use, and it's got a big laser beam built into it. And yeah, I'm basically out of things to say until I start colouring, which I'm doing now. So this is just something I do where I make a big like undercolor layer and use a mask over that so that I can't uncolour outside the boundaries. It's really useful for me, and it's especially useful if you're putting in like textures, splashing and like flecks of dirt and shading and whatever, but my dumbass forgot to put those in, so whoops. But yeah, and I went for red because it's a very nice contrasting colour against most of her, because her definitive colour, is blue. And I need to slow down in case I'm leaving gaps in the audio again. But yeah, so her default colour is blue. However, that was kind of boring when she was just blue, so I threw orange onto some of her as one accent colour, and she's also got pink as a secondary one. Or, I guess this is more lavender looking at it, I don't know. But yeah, I also made her skin slightly darker than it is sorry, I made her skin darker than it is in the model. Because, well, it occurred to me she operates out of the desert. She's probably going to have a tan by this point. So I made sure to give her one. And it contrasts fairly well over the scars, or at least I think it did. And yeah, you'll see how I forgot to cut out the holes in the chainmail and like left the yoke backs open, so I kind of just solid colour. No one will notice from a distance. Yeah, that's what you should know about artists. We cheat all the goddamn time. Like, if no one's gonna see it or you don't have to do it, we won't. Like, on May's model, she has no hair under her hat. There was no point. She was never gonna take it off. And I appear to have run out of things to say, so... I know. Team Mask. Some people have pointed out in the comments that Mask is not a colour. I will not claim you're wrong, it's not. What masks are, though, is a way to express yourself, and it's pretty evident that's where the art stuff in RWBY comes from. I'm pretty sure they even say it in the commentary for Volume 1. So I thought I could get away with it, and plus I kind of fell in love with the idea that each member of Team Mask is essentially wearing a mask, not always literally, although the two you haven't seen currently are, if I keep their designs. But the basic idea is they're all hiding something or trying to pretend and there's something they're not. Like, May looks physically fairly ugly because she's been so screwed up and torn apart. But she's also got her swan song, which is meant to be this big, beautiful, angelic form that's hidden just beneath. Again, I don't think I did a good job of conveying that because I never did the wings, but oh well. And her teammate Abby, who's the only one who currently actually has a trailer that her thing she's hiding is she's basically trying to act like she's fine when she's really not. Because part of Team Mask's backstory, which I'm just going to say here, is that the whole team basically fell apart in the worst way possible. Like, most of the members just haven't seen each other for a while and aren't talking. It's not to say they hate most of each other, it's just the team really doesn't work, and they especially do not really like the K member anymore. You'll see why if I ever get to her video. Although, something I'm debating is, because I'm not sure I have it in me or the time to make, like, 4 original trailers, so would anyone mind if I just jumped straight to the big team up and just introduced the other two in that? Again, I want to do, like, the 4 trailers, but at this point I have no idea if I can, especially given I'm going to be busy. Basically, because I'm the sole art department and on an indie game I'm making with my brother. That's not to say he doesn't help at all, but I've got to make most of the models and texture them because, well, it's not his forte, like, at all. So, yeah. Anyway, let's be arty and talk about one of my favourite parts of artwork, shading. It's not necessarily the most fun to do, but I think when you do it well, it adds so much, it's worth doing anyway, even if you don't like it. Because, like, here, I'm trying to add more texture onto A's... I want to call it a puffer jacket. Hang on, I'm going to Google if that's the right thing. Puffer jacket. That's spelt wrong, but never mind. Yeah, it's kind of a puffer jacket, although it's also more of a body warmer because she doesn't have sleeves. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I was having fun with her, and yeah, here she is done. The final finished image should be hanging around on the screen here. I hope you like it. You'll be able to see it linked properly on my DeviantArt down below. Oh, please like and subscribe. God, that made me feel dirty, but apparently it helps. Anyway, if you want to see me do more art stuff like this, let me know. I mean, I'm tempted to do a few more myself, but I don't know. Anyway, it's been good talking to you. Later.